Hello everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Loba Clothing. If you're seeing my channel for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Kindly hit on the subscribe button if you are yet to do so. And to my returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Please do well to put on your notification bell so as to get notified when I upload new videos. Thank you. So today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys how I made this beautiful kimono kaftan with tassels. These are the materials needed in cutting this bubu. We're needing our tape rule, our scissors, our chalk, and also our fabric. This fabric is called Kampala, and also you can see the fabric has two patterns of design. It has a design at the two sides of the fabric and another one at the middle of the fabric. Also, we'll be needing about 2.5 yards of fabric. If you're a plus person, you'll be needing more than that. You'll be needing about 3 yards or 3.5 yards. Let's dive into the video. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric, and this fabric is folded into 4 equal halves. I folded both the front and back together as I'll be cutting it together. Also, you can see a design is at the middle of the fabric, and then the other design is at both sides of the fabric. After doing the folding of the fabric, I'll go by marking out the shoulder line, also serving as the starting point. Before taking other measurements, I'll be marking out 1/2 inches at the tip of the fabric. On my shoulder line, I'll be placing my taper there to take the kaftan length. As you can see, I have 43 here, and the normal length is 41 inches. So I added extra 2 inches, so meaning 1.5 inches for the folding of the down and 1/2 inches for the joining of the shoulder. So that makes it 43 inches. After that, I'll be going over to the shoulder line to mark out the kaftan shoulder length, meaning how wide you want the kaftan should be from the shoulder to the length of your sleeve area. So I'll be using 22 inches for that, and I'll be adding extra 1 inches for sewing allowance. As you can see, the wideness of the fabric is 23 itself, so that makes it the total measurements I needed. Also on the shoulder line, I'll be taking the bust point, which is 9 inches. I'll go ahead to mark the 9 inches there like this. I'll be making use of our hip measurements for the wideness of this kaftan, not a bust measurements. And our hip is 40 divided by 4. That gave me 10 inches. You can easily divide the tape rule just as I am doing like this. So I'll be placing my tape rule and mark out the 10 inches on the fabric like this, and I'll be adding extra 5.5 inches to the measurements. She does not want the kaftan to be too wide on her, so I just added 5.5 inches. So out of the 5.5 inches, the sewing allowance is part of it. So 5.5 inches plus 10 inches, that makes it 15.5 inches. So that 15.5 inches, I'm going to mark it all the way to the length of the kaftan. For the opening of the sleeve, the owner of this kaftan wants it to be as open as the bust point, so I'll just be making a curve from the bust point all the way to the end of the fabric like this. You can actually make the opening of your sleeve smaller if you don't want it to be as wide as this. You can use 7 inches, 8 inches, depending on how wide you want the sleeve to be. So after doing that, we'll go over to the shoulder line to mark out our neck width. So for the neck width, I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. You know, I'm cutting both the front and the back together, so I'll be using the back neck to cut out the front neck. So I'll be using 2 inches for the neck depth, and then I'll connect the 2 points together like this. After doing all that, the next thing you'll go ahead to do is to cut it out just as I am doing. This is how it came out after I was done cutting it out, as you can see. Also, I don't know if you noticed that while cutting, I didn't cut on the exact line, and the reason is because on that part that I cuffed, I noticed it was not cuffed enough, so I had to just re-cuff it again. So I'll be putting the back aside to work on the front part. If you look in the picture above, the front neck, it's a V. So for the front depth, I'll be using 7 inches, and then from that 7 inches, I'll connect it to the 3.5 inches like this. and then I'll cut that part out. This is how it sees. This is how the V came out. The next thing we'll be doing is to cut out facing for the front and the back. I'll be using this my remaining fabric to cut out the facing. So as you can see, I fold the fabric into two, and I'll be placing the front parts on the fabric to cut out the facing. So you do it just as I am doing. Place it on the fabric and then you cut out the parts. You put the front part aside after cutting it out. So from that part, that tip, you come down a little bit and then make a curve. You do it just like this. So this is the facing for the front, and then we'll be cutting out the facing for the back too. You place the back on the fabric, place it like this, and then you cut out the parts and do it just as I did for the front part too. What you do next is to pick up the back parts and then you open it up like this. You open it up and then place the facing on it. You do it just the way I'm doing. You look for the back of the fabric and then place it on it. So you'll be using 1/2 inches to hold that place down. You use 1/2 inches to sew it down, and then at that tip you weave it round. You take the front part too. You will also open the front part up like this and then place the facing. You look for the front part of the facing and place it on each other. You know, this is the front and this is the back, so it's the front to be placing on the main fabric. You place it there like this, and then you'll be using 1/2 inches to sew that place round like this, 1/2 inches. So I'll take it to the machine and stitch down both the front and the back, and also you'll be weaving that part of the front of the facing too rather. So we'll take it to the machine to stitch down. As you can see, this is it after I was done stitching it down. Can you see? And I've also gone ahead to top stitch it. Can you see how I top stitch it down? And I've also weave that part. I'll weave it round too. So the next thing we'll be doing is to iron it down. We'll be ironing it down and then using our hemming gum to gum down the facing to the main fabric itself. So we'll be taking our spray water to spray on it first, and then we'll iron. I don't have a steaming iron. I'll be using this my bottle of water to spray on it, and then I'll iron that part down. After you're done ironing it down like this, you pick up your hemming gum. This is what we call hemming gum, and then place it in between the facing and the fabric itself. You place it just as I am doing like this. You do it this way, and then you spray your water on it, and then you iron. If you have a steaming iron, you can easily press water to come out from the iron, but if you don't have a steaming iron, you can also do this method I am doing. So you iron it just as I am doing. You make sure you iron it very well to lay well. After ironing the back part of it, you turn it to the front side and then you iron it again. You iron it very well so as to lay well. You can see how neat it is after doing that. You can see. So we'll be picking the back part of it. We won't do the back part like this yet. We'll pick the back part and then look for the front part. Place the front and the front side together. Place it together like this, and then you pick one side of the shoulder like this. Open up the facing. Can you see how I'm doing? And then use the facing to turn it like this. You turn it to the other side like this. Can you see? So you hold it together like that with 1/2 inches. and you do the same thing for the other side of it too. For the other side of the shoulder, you turn it that way and then hold that side with half inches too. So we'll take it to the sewing machine to stitch down. This is it after I was done stitching down the shoulder part. Can you see I've also gone ahead to weave that part. So after that, you just easily turn that point inside like that. Can you see how it is? Can you see the sewing is not showing from the tip of the neckline? Can you see? You do the same thing for the other part too. It looks really neat this way. Can you see how it is? So after doing that, you'll be doing the same thing for the back parts of the facing. You'll be ironing it just as I did for the front parts. You spray your water on it like this, and then you iron it down well like this. After that, you place your hemming gum under the facing and the main fabric, spray your water, and then you iron. After ironing the back part, you also turn it to the front part and then you iron. As you can see, it's looking really neat, so you make sure you iron this part well. You can see how neat this is. So we are done with the neck parts. We'll be doing the sleeve area next. As you can see, I've gone ahead to weave the sleeve area, and then I added 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'll be folding in that 1 inch like this. I'll be stitching on it. The other side of the sleeve too, I'll be folding in 1 inch and then I'll stitch on it. So I'll take it to the machine to stitch down. This is it after stitching it down. This is one part of the sleeve. You can see how neat is it, and then this is the other part of the sleeve. It's looking very, very neat too. The next thing we'll go ahead to do is to hold the sides. We'll be stitching down the sides with ½ inches. You stitch it down all the way to the length of the kaftan. You do the same thing for the other side too, and then we'll take it to the machine to stitch down. I've stitched the sides down, can you see? And I've also weaved it round. I've also done the weaving of the other side. I stitch it down, and then as you can see for the down parts, I've gone ahead to weave it round. So the next thing we'll be doing is to fold this, and then we'll be taking it to the machine to stitch down. If you notice, I later used ½ inches to do the folding of the down, and initially I added 1.5 inches. So I got a call from the customer and she said she wanted it longer, so I had to reduce it to ½ inches, and then that makes the length of the dress 42 inches. So what we'll be doing next is to be adding our tassel to the length, to the down part of the dress. And to determine the spacing of the tassel, so from this side I'll measure out 5 inches. I'll mark it out, and then on the other side I'll measure out 5 inches too, and then I'll mark it out. You know, I'll be making use of 4 tassels at the front and then also 4 at the back, as you can see in the picture above. So from this side I'll be marking out 7 inches. So I'll mark it out like this, and then I'll go to the other side and then I'll mark out 7 inches too. I'll mark it there like this. So I'll be showing you how we'll be placing the tassels. As you can see, I'll be placing these under this, and then this under this under this too, and then the last one too under this, as you can see. So this is how the placing is going to be. So the same thing is going to be done at the back too. So we'll take it to the machine to stitch down. I'm done stitching it down. As you can see, this is the final look. This is how I stitched down the tassel on the dress, and you see how beautiful it is. It's looking really, really nice. This is the upper parts, and here we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you have any question concerning this tutorial, kindly let me know in the comment section. I'll be showing you the final look of the dress. So kindly help me like this video, help me subscribe, turn on your notification bell so as to get notified when I upload new videos. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.